Oh god.
Yeah, it's a fun tradition.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember much. I forget things so fast. I remember like barely anything.
Really?
No. I get a really bad memory. I think Callum's really good at remembering things.
I don't know.
I hope so.
Where do we put the house keys? I don't know.
AirTag.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I have trackers on everything. I lose everything.
I should do that.
You need to. Out of everyone I know,
Yeah.
you need to do it.
I like the thrill of the hunt. Where did I put that? Passport. Where's my credit card? I think that makes it just more. Life's more exciting. Adds the spice of life.
So stupid.
Man,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Are all of Connor's brothers all named with C? No.
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 Just Connor and Callum. That's
Yeah.
it. But that's why I have a middle name, right? I think. Is that right?
Yeah.
You don't have a middle name. So annoying having a middle name in Japan.
Tell me about it.
Is it?
Yeah, they're like, what is this? We've never seen anything like
Oh.
this.
Yeah, you have to write them all down. I've
Yeah.
got 2.
So
that's like,
it'll be like Peter Charles is my name, and it's really it's inconvenient because then they don't know where to put it on the form. And I remember I got a bank account for the first time when I first moved to Japan, and I couldn't understand a single word that was being said to me at this post office because it was quite rural.
Yeah.
And finally, after 3 hours of negotiation, I got my card, and in katakana it said, Peter Chuckles Macy. I was like, dear God, I'm Peter Chuckles Macy. And I was like, you know what, if I am going to be a clown, not a bad name. So they completely got Charles wrong. So, but now for like forever, and like how you spell it, yeah.
Did you get it fixed in the end, or?
No, I'm just Chuckles. No, I had to get it fixed after my first pay stub when I'm not Chuckles.
When I first moved to Japan, I had to get a bank account, obviously, and I didn't know how to write my name in Japanese or anything like that. So my friend took me, and he wrote out my surname's Rudd. So in Japanese it'd be Rado. It's close to sound to it. But he made, instead of doing the small stop after the Ra, he did the long one. So for 15 years I've been Mr. Lard.
Oh, no.
Lardo, which is how they write it.
Yeah.
So,
Finally, you rose up to your name.
I got there.
If only I could chuckle. Yeah.
It sounds like everyone has this. My names are all wrong on everything for years.
Everything.
Yeah.
And
I only just started fixing it.
and it's tough because at first
You could have some fun with that though as well, couldn't you?
You could.
If you know what they...
oh yeah,
You could have...
it's just tough when your passport doesn't. It says Charles, and it's just because Charazu, and they just said Chakarazu. So, but like, also like my name is Macy.
Oh my god.
So first they wrote like Mashi, or then they wrote like Meishi, and what it should be is like Meishi. And so like you go through all these revisions, and if one is different than this, and if that's different than that,
Oh, your internet
oh
bank,
god,
yeah,
it's all over.
phone.
It's all over.
Yeah.
It has to be really careful. What's yours?
My middle names
The whole, like if I get your full government, if you don't mind sharing, in Japanese, katakana.
would be Parado Paul Kevin Asa.
Oh no!
And there's never enough boxes for the entire name. So it's
That's
like,
like my
it just sort of
intro.
cuts off, it's like, ah.
The key thing of having a middle name is there's no any of these forms you have to fill in online. You can't put a space in there. So
Oh, yeah.
it just merges it all
Yeah.
together.
Peter Charles.
You put it in.
Yeah, whenever I book flights for Paul, it doesn't let me put the full name in.
Yeah.
It's like, so I just don't put any of them in.
Just Paul.
I
Cameraman.
Cameraman. Changed my name really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just Cameraman Paul.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, no.
Hey Lardo, you okay over there? Chuckles and Lardo, yeah. We'd have a good comedy set together, I feel like.
It's like a Simpsons sidetrack.
Oh my god.
Chuckles and Lard,
Chuckles and
yeah.
Lard.
Unbelievable.
My country does not have middle names. I guess.
Yeah, and you know, my wife is pregnant, and we're debating on we should give the child a middle name, and I want to just because I find it humorous. They might get it wrong, but like just because we could give it some sort of meaning towards our heritage.
Yeah.
But for her, she's all about let's get it like let's not complicate it. I think I agree with her now. I was like, what's wrong with Chuckles or Zangief or whatever we name? But like, yeah, should be fun. Should be fun to figure that one out. So, can't wait.
I mean, it's always so annoying when you first move and figuring it all out. It must have been hard though, like 15 years ago.
Oh, yes. 2007. I
There's
think when I
like
first came in 2007, not to live but to visit.
Yeah.
And there was no Google Maps.
No.
And the only phone, they didn't have iPhones, weren't big then. So you only had like the flip phone with like the single tiny line of digits in digital. So trying to find your way around literally was like a walk and talk. It was like you'd have a paper
they
map.
don't have street names, do they? Really?
They
not
do, but it
that's the
depends on
same
the
way as we-
neighborhoods.
oh, do they?
Yeah.
They're not overly logical.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Back then, Apple Maps eventually was better than Google for a long, long time of getting around Japan.
Oh, really?
Because they went all in because they'd lost America to Google.
Ah.
So Apple went all in on Japan at one point, which is why I think for cars, some people say Apple's better
Yeah.
for navigation.
Yeah, but yeah, actually, you're right. They're not really street names. There, you'll have a region, and then it'll be like 3 numbers separated by a
Yeah.
hyphen.
Yeah.
Which
That
all, man.
dictates
Yeah.
like the postcode, but it's it's
Yeah, I first went there in 2003 when I was quite young, like 19. And when I got off the plane, it was pretty mandatory to get a little green phone card. And they had all these little green phones. They still have some of them around
Yeah,
Japan.
you see
And
them.
you would immediately have to make like like in England, how
Yeah,
you
yeah.
had those little red ones, you know. And then I also remember that they used this kind of method of. Remember, did you guys ever have beepers?
Yeah.
well, kind of.
Pages.
Pagers?
That's it.
Yeah.
Right, you get a little thing that says like
Yeah,
who
yeah,
called. So Japan figured out a shorthand system of saying like, if I say these 3 numbers, like 489 and then 7, it'll be like Shibuya, 7 o'clock.
Right.
So you would get the page of like, they called it a pocket bell. So you'd text kind of, but using numerical shorthand codes. And I thought, that's kind of cool.
Was that like the old text messages where they only allow you like 35 characters or 65 characters?
But you couldn't
to
use any
text?
letters. It was just the
Oh,
numbers.
just numbers.
So wait, she is 4, and then
yeah.
boo I think was like 8. I
What's
think,
that
and then-
location code now they use, the modern one? The 3 letters.
What 3
Oh,
words?
what 3
The
words?
what 3 words?
But that's only like in the UK, right? I feel like.
Yeah, it's an app, right? I've seen that.
But it is worldwide though.
Yeah, I know it works worldwide, but I feel like
Yeah.
I've only heard of people using it here.
I randomly, completely randomly, I know the guy trying to bring it to Japan.
Oh.
He works for What 3 Words, and he comes
Oh,
back
wow.
and forth between. He's based in England, but comes to.
How would it work for Japan with the words?
It's going to be tough. So when I I used to work for a company called Tokyo Creative, but before it became that, it was called Odigo, and it was this website where you could plan your trip around Japan. And the staff from What 3 Words came to us because they did try and go all in Japan. And on the Odigo website, for every location we had a What 3 Words code. We implemented it. But then they kind of, I think they realised it was a lot more difficult than maybe they'd anticipated to get. It's a really cool idea.
Really good. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Just like, just get lost.
We did too. It's tough the old days, but yeah.
Yeah, Google Maps is so good now.
Yeah, we didn't have any trouble getting places around here.
Especially
Only car parks. That was always tricky.